Previously on Lucids.
Benjamin, wake up! You're 7 years old, you fell asleep in math class, and all this has just been a bad dream.
Your mind perceives the owner of a dreamscape to always be in possession of an apple, correct? If anyone bites into that apple, they will be transported back to the owner's reality.
Do you think Mrs. Hills is right? I mean, that guy I saw in training yesterday, he's her son?
Quinn, calling himself Jasper Prime, whatever that is. He died when he was 3 months old. But somewhere, he grew up. I should have told Arthur. It was a mistake to keep him away.
Why didn't you?
We all have secrets, Oliver. Some grow so large that you can't see anything else. Some are so small they can fit in your pocket.
Do you blame yourself?
I heard back from the hospital. Your brother seems to be stable and might even wake up soon. I remember everywhere you went, like anytime I saw you, you always had an apple.
Quinn.
He's a lucid. At some point in my dreams, he became a lucid. That's how he left my dreamscape. That's how he got into your dreams.
You're a memory, Quinn. All that time, you were in her dreams.
In her dreamscape, I know, I found out. But she didn't want me there. She told me every time I saw her that I was nothing.
Quinn, please. You know that this is the right thing to do.
Benjamin, what is in this for you, man? What did she promise you? You don't know, do you? You don't know why you were so desperate to join the cult in the first place.
That's not what this is about.
It was Isabelle, Benjamin. She left you.
I've waited a very long time to meet you. All my life, in fact. And now here you sit. God herself.
I'm not God.
You are to me, and to my father and my mother, my grandfather and my great-grandmother, to all the living, the dead. We have all always been and always will be in your dream. I'm afraid the shoe fits. Do you take sugar?
No.
Suit yourself. Did you know that there are dreamscapes where they grind up little beans and drink them for the caffeine? Isn't that delightful? I must say, I'm quite starstruck. Well, one man's dream is another man's reality. That's the way it's been since the beginning of time. But I imagine it must be very rare for a man to meet his maker. And you want to be a lucid. How much do you know?
I know I'm dreaming.
And how do you know that?
I have the apple.
Good. Do you know when you are in your dream? The year, your age, anything?
No.
That will come with the training. Have you attempted to change anything in your dreamscape? Clever.
Thank you.
Now will you put me back? I miss my turtleneck. Ah, much better. Complete control over an entire universe. It's really something. Once you get the hang of this lucid business, it's quite a life. Or lifetimes, I should say. Money, power. I've even sainted myself in a few dreamscapes. But you're after something more personal, aren't you?
You know where my son is?
I do. He can get quite clingy, can't he?
Where is he?
I do think the question should be, how I know.
Where is he?
Isn't it remarkable, the brain? You just asked me a question you don't know the answer to, and here I've been a lucid for most of my life, inside your dream, and you've only just realized you've been asleep, and all from the same mind, your mind. I wonder what else it's been keeping from you, Mrs. Hills. How did you find me?
I stopped thinking and started walking.
Natural talent. As for your son, I will take you as far as I can. May I?
Catch.
Aren't I having a bit of fun? Can you imagine?
and your daughter, and they left you because of what you did. So don't talk to me about doing the right thing.
She left.
What do you mean?
She jumped into someone's dreamscape to get back to her reality. She's gone. What do we do now?
We go home.
What? Well, there's a math quiz on Tuesday, and I tell the time packet due tomorrow, so I should probably go practice.
What about Quinn? Benjamin, what about Isabelle?
It's over, Oliver. It's okay, it's just... It's done.
I'm gonna need a minute tonight. I'll need another minute.
Benjamin,
tonight.
you don't have any shoes on.
I'm gonna need a minute.
What are you gonna do with no shoes on?
Another minute tonight. Okay, I don't mind. I couldn't make it work this time. I'm hanging in my best friend's house tonight. I'm hanging in my best friend's house. It's okay, I don't mind. There's nothing to say to make it right. I'm hanging in my best friend's house tonight. I'm hanging in my best friend's house. Maybe just wanna see me sleep tonight. But I don't wanna give you more regrets. So maybe we can't make it work tonight. But I'll take you to the underground and I will give you anything. So give me all you have to love. I will give you anything. So give another minute for yourself.
Who's that?
Daddy,
Can you go give Dada a hug?
Daddy.
Benjamin, come down here. You're going to be late for the bus.
You're coming.
Oh, sure, you're coming now. You were coming 5 minutes ago, you ungrateful second-grade piece of snot.
The little hand is here, and the big hand is here. Can anybody tell me what time this is?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, that's right. And if the little hand is over here, and the big hand is there, can anybody tell me what time this is?
Dad says it's called addiction.
5:30, that's right.
He's looking at us.
Now if we wiggle it back to here, and we have the big hand here, and the little hand there, can anybody tell me what time it is?
12:05.
Oliver.
12 o'clock, that's right.
Oliver, wake up.
Oliver?
I need to use the bathroom, please.
Well, now, I don't know how your substitute teacher, Mrs. Hills, used to do things, but in my class...
It's an emergency.
Oh, well, these are new seats. Be back in 5 minutes. Speaking of minutes...
Oliver.
Okay, please wake up.
Oliver.
Please, don't wake up. Please stay asleep. Stay asleep, please.
Oliver.
Please stay asleep, please.
Oliver. Sorry, I'm just here to give you an update on your brother's condition. We took another look at the MRI, and to be honest, it looks as though it will be a very long road ahead of him. And that is assuming that he eventually wakes up. I'll give you some time alone.
Pineapple.
That's not fair because you died. No, you did. No, that's so unfair. No, because when you were taking off, I got you with a super duper laser. I didn't. Oh my gosh, I didn't die.
Actually, you did. You did die, technically.
What?
Well, you were only protecting yourself with a super shield while he fired at you with a super duper fire ice laser, and since the only power in this game seems to be superlatives, then yeah, technically you died. Hi. Can I sleep over tonight? Why? Because all I've been having lately are nightmares. Yeah, okay.
Is that pineapple pizza?
Yeah, why? Are you gonna eat it? God, no. Why? Are you?
No.
Okay, good. Let's go.
Don't you want the bed?
Don't be an idiot. I'll see you there, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Wake up. Wake up. Thank you for being here.
Of course. I just can't believe this is your apartment.
Or our apartment. Can't depend.
Our apartment? Oh my god, they were roommates.
No, not us. My dreams have been putting me here so many times lately. And I can never tell whether it's before or after we divorced. The only way I find out is whether she walks through that door at 5 coming home from work, or if she doesn't. And I can never tell which one is worse.
Oh, but there's gotta be a calendar somewhere, right? Right? Or what about your phone?
I don't want to do this.
I mean, she should have taken stuff.
Yeah,
right?
probably,
Oh,
but
you have
I-
a daughter. There should be diapers.
I mean, sure, but
Come
if
on, Benny, we can figure
Don't
this.
call me that, Oliver!
I mean, on the bright side, you'll probably end up nailing those toe-the-time homework packets. This is your dream, Benjamin. You can change anything, any way you want.
So why don't you change her to stay?
Because it's my fault she left. Now, I could change everything and I'd still know that I'm capable of doing that to her. So, what difference does it make? I think, honestly, Oliver, I think this is what I deserve. We deserve. The reason I woke us up in the first place, I was driving my brother, and he was in such a bad mood. And I was lecturing him on that, you know, and somewhere between him shouting at me and me shouting back, I took a left turn and he's alive. But I don't know when he's gonna wake up. So you tell me what I deserve for that. What?
Pretty sick imaginations for second graders.
What do you mean?
That we dreamt this. This is our dream. This is it.
Benjamin, I need to tell you something.
What?
I don't fully understand it or what it means, but when we're there in second grade in your reality, I have... This one's worse.
Jasper?
Benjamin?
What have you... How did you...
Can I come in, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Oh, Robin, you're here too.
Who?
Oh, right, me.
Jasper, what
Do you know you're dreaming?
Yes?
Oh, you're here, finally. I've
What?
been coming here for weeks, and every time I ask that question, you always start singing Schoolhouse Rock
Or the
sing-
Kardashians. Yeah, Kardashians?
We really
Oh,
don't
yeah,
need
there
to.
was one time I stayed, and he just kept going, like, for hours. It was very impressive.
Wow, can we hear a little now?
Jasper, what are you doing here?
It's about Quinn.
Quinn.
Yeah, he explained everything to me about dreams and his mom, and I don't really understand it, but I know that you need to talk to him. He hasn't been himself, like he's gone numb, like he just leaves for hours on end, and I know he'll do anything to run from her, even if that means running from me, and I've never had a best friend before, so I'll do anything to keep him around. And I don't know, maybe if he meets her, like as she is now in your reality dream thing or whatever, maybe Maybe it'll stop him from being so scared. And I need that, which means I need you.
Where is he?
I'll show you.
Okay, second question. Is it far? Because I don't have to now, but...
Yeah, you should pee now.
Great.
Thank you.
Lydia?
Yes, Arthur. I'm awake.
Did you find him?
Yes.
What did he say when he saw you?
He didn't. He didn't see me. He ran. I don't remember any of it, Arthur. What he said I did to him is unimaginable. I would never. Never. I want him more than anything. Why would I... How could I say those things to him?
For about a year after we lost him, before you started dreaming, you were having the most terrible nightmares. Almost every night, you'd scream yourself awake, and it was always about him. I would talk you down, you'd go back to sleep, and every morning you would never remember a thing. So, I never told you about it. You were going through enough as it was. We both were.
Arthur, I never meant to.
Grief does horrible things, even to the best of us. And you are the best of anyone, Lydia. Go find him, then come back home if you can.
Leave and never come back. I want you gone. Do you understand?
There he is. All right, you both wait here. I'm gonna go try to talk to him.
No,
I'll talk to him.
Oliver, I have the answer.
Benjamin, seriously, no offense, but last time you tried, you got us stuck in a knockoff John Wick film for about 5 minutes.
Nice view. You know, Jasper was telling us on the way up about the Jasperfice, and I was wondering if I could ask you, what song did you sing?
Firework by Katy Perry.
Yikes.
I'm not going.
I mean, yeah, but you're not running either. You know, I haven't been doing this Lucid thing for very long, but I gotta say, it sucks. You know, the only thing that anybody seems to care about is controlling everything, making the best reality for themselves. The only things that have ever been real are what you chose. Your mom told me that. And like, cool, you know, cool concept, but I don't think it's true. Of course I get it. There's that feeling that the ground is breaking from underneath you and you'll grab onto anything to stop yourself from falling. And if anyone asks you how you're doing, you're hanging there. Somewhere above nothing but miles below okay. And the only things you can hear or see are all the things you don't have. And it is so easy then to imagine that the only things that are real, the only things that matter are the things that matter to you. But I think life is just too big to live like that. You miss out on so much. Like nice views. Or a new favorite song. Or really good coffee, not to plug my own brand, but... Or just other people. You know, people who care about you. People who ask you how you're doing, who make you smile, even if just for a second. You know, maybe they are the only things that need to be real for right now. And you have a very real person right over there. Come on, we're talking about you. You are real, Quinn. Even in memory. I mean, you should see the way your mom talks about you. You still take care of her, make her smile, even if you don't know it. Let her let you go, Quinn. It'll be okay. What he said. Oh, don't bite that part. I'm kidding. I have no idea.
Benjamin.
How
Oh, I didn't know you were
bite
kidding.
into an apple.
I
to
just
get
gave
into
an
someone's
entire
reality and
speech.
everything.
I don't know how this
Dreamscape,
works
that means-
either.
It doesn't
I
make
am
any
done.
sense.
For
I mean,
nothing
I
if
have
you
no idea
believe
how
you.
we're here in the first.
I have never lived here before. But I'm not a stranger to people like you, whose words are young, but whose ears are old. Can you tell me, did the angels forget your name? I know you've lived here before. Your eyes cracked open like a tombstone. Will my children be